Hi guys, welcome back to Manga Mono. The story of this anime begins with Kenta stepping through the door. He is then met with the striking presence of Arisa, his brother Kaotu's new Russian wife. Whose beauty seems almost surreal. Her warm smile and perfect physique pull him into a daze when she greets him, leaving him fumbling for words as her elegance overwhelms his senses. Arisa walks up to him to shake his hand, and her scent quickly overwhelms him. Kaotu tells him they've been married for a month, but met in college. While Kaotu talks about him and Arisa, Kenta can't help but get distracted by Arisa's beauty. He gets envious that good things only happen to his brother and wonders when it'll be his turn. In the afternoon, Kaotu informs Arisa that he has to leave for an urgent business trip abroad, catching her completely off guard. He apologizes and explains that it's for a major project, but assures her that everything at home will be fine as long as she takes charge in his absence. Arisa nods, wishing him luck and promising to take care of the house while he's gone. As Kaotu talks with Arisa, Kenta quietly celebrates in his room. A smile spreads across his face as he imagines the opportunities this presents, eagerly anticipating his time with Arisa while Kaotu is away. Later that night, Kenta walks through the hallway, wondering if Arisa is still awake. When he spots light seeping from under her door, curiosity gets the better of him. He pauses, contemplating whether to knock or wait a little longer, his heart racing with the possibilities that lie ahead. When he finally looks, a large grin graces his face. Kenta quietly watches as Arisa diligently stirs the filling of her apple pie while gazing at a picture of Kaotu. She mutters to herself that she misses him, the soft tone of her voice laced with longing. As she continues, her imagination goes out of control, picturing Kaotu by her side, helping her out with baking her apple pie. Not long after that, she fails to stop the caramelized juices of her apple pie from splattering everywhere, leaving a mess on the floor. Kenta can't help but stare, overwhelmed at the sight. Arisa, now exhausted, lies down on the floor. She sighs, wishing Kaotu would come back soon to help her finish baking her apple pie. Kenta lingers in the hallway, standing just outside her room. He watches her, his kingdom in hand, looking for the opportunity to appreciate the apple pie she's baking. The next morning, Kenta watches as Arisa hangs the laundry, her face etched with a sadness that he knows all too well because she misses Kaotu. Despite the obvious longing in her expression, Kenta can't help but admire her, especially her twin personalities. As he observes, he thinks about how Kaotu is seriously missing out. Kenta believes his brother is too oblivious, too wrapped up in his work, and not paying enough attention to someone as beautiful and devoted as Arisa. If Kenta were in his shoes, he'd be spending every second appreciating her. The more Kenta watches Arisa move about, busy with the household chores, the more his mind begins to race. He starts to think of ways he could inch closer to her, ways to bridge the gap between them without setting off alarms. Arisa doesn't seem as guarded around him, making Kenta feel like he might just have a chance. However, he knows better than to rush things. He can't make any sudden moves, not if he wants to prevent her from hating him. Kenta continues observing Arisa and finds an excuse to help her with her apple pie. At night, Arisa watches a scary movie but accidentally spills her apple juice due to fear. Kenta steps in and asks if she's alright. And Arisa cries to him about a ghost on the TV. Arisa nervously tells Kenta about her leaking apple juice incident and asks him not to tell Kaotu about it. Kenta gets an idea and continues to scare Arisa by saying that she could get cursed in real life by the movie she just watched.
それよりもアリサさん、心霊特集見ちゃったの？ああいうのって作り物でも本当に呪われたりするからな。
Arisa looks more scared and spills more of her apple juice on the floor. Kenta assures her that he can teach her a Japanese exorcism technique so she won't be haunted. Kenta makes her wear a bathrobe and says that it's what ghosts wear. If she wears it while cleansing herself, they'll be able to drive out the spirit-possessing body. Arisa is hesitant, but she's already fallen for Kenta's fake story to back out. She turns the shower on with cold water, causing her to shiver. To make it seem like he isn't being weird, Kenta explains he'll watch her closely to make sure she's doing the cleansing technique properly. As Arisa cleanses herself, Kenta gets too supportive and can't help but get his kingdom ready for Lane. He asks her to face him, and Arisa obeys. Kenta gets a glimpse of her twin personalities, which causes the culture within him to suddenly skyrocket out of control. Arisa complains that she's cold, and Kenta wastes no time turning the shower off and immediately warming her up to avoid frostbite. He then informs her that they can no longer stop in the middle of the ritual. While Kenta continues to share the warmth with Arisa can't help but feel her twin personalities awaken and feels bad about it, since Kenta only wants to help her. Kenta pushes things forward and initiates his plan to help Arisa lift the curse. He reaches for her apple pie and stirs it gently, earning a shocked response from Arisa. Although Arisa knows her apple pie should be exclusive only for Kautu, she can't make herself stop things from progressing. Kenta tells her that they can dispel the ghost from her twin personalities now that it's cornered. He uncovers the two and helps her release the ghost from them. Kenta then accidentally stains Arisa's robe and offers her a change of clothes in his room. Inside Kenta's room, Arisa gets shy at the clothes Kenta gave her. When she asks what it's for, Kenta explains that it's Amiko's garments, and Amiko is a servant of God who performs exorcism rites. Arisa brightens up after hearing Kenta's explanation, and then Kenta gives her an item to exterminate the ghosts. Arisa begins shaking the item, causing her body to sway. While Kenta looks calm on the outside, he grins smugly on the inside, knowing that he's close to fulfilling his plan. Snapping out of his thoughts, Kenta tells Arisa that he'll teach her a typical ritual, one that involves a cultural appreciation session. And Kenta takes out his kingdom and presents it to Arisa, who's shocked by his sudden movements. Kenta tries persuading her by saying that the only way to exorcise the ghost possessing her is through a full-on cultural appreciation session. He expresses worry for her, telling her that she'd also want to help a beloved family member if they were also cursed. Arisa becomes determined and falls for Kenta's lies. Kenta goes straight to letting his kingdom appreciate her apple pie, which gives Arisa a different cultural experience from what she's used to with Kautu. When the time is right, Kenta donates a substantial amount of his kingdom's liquid white gold for Arisa, which immediately makes her step on Legos. Kenta then tells Arisa that the exorcism is finished, and she thanks him with a look of relief on her face. A few days pass by, and Kenta has just gotten out of the shower. He notices light coming from Arisa's room and wonders what she's doing up late again. When he checks, he sees Arisa mixing the fillings of her apple pie once again, while watching a video of Kautu during their college days. After focusing thoroughly on her apple pie fillings, Arisa accidentally steps on Legos, while Kenta observes happily from outside. The next morning, Kenta watches Arisa hang the laundry when she suddenly notices him. Arisa greets him a good morning, her curiosity piqued by news of an upcoming festival. Having recently moved to Japan, she expresses her limited knowledge of traditional festivals and eagerly asks Kenta to teach her about these cultural celebrations. A brilliant idea sparks in Kenta's mind as he remembers his collection of traditional festival attire. Her initial enthusiasm turns to puzzlement as she examines the first outfit. Kenta patiently explains that she's wearing a traditional short festival top designed for easy movement during celebrations. He also introduces her to the loincloth called a fundoshi, explaining that their purpose is for mobility during festivities. Delighting in her new festival attire, Arisa starts bouncing around, testing the outfit's range of motion. Kenta observes her enthusiasm with appreciation for this cultural exchange opportunity. He then continues by introducing another festival tradition, the art of carrying a palanquin. Arisa happily mentions seeing Kauta demonstrated in a video. To help her learn the proper technique, Kenta provides some practice materials. He watches as Arisa mimics Kauta's movements from the video she watched. Kenta offers guidance on proper form, suggesting she adjusts her stance for better stability and a better view. While Arisa continues practicing, Kenta jumps in and practices with her. But Arisa gets distracted by his towering kingdom. He tells her it isn't good to get distracted, and that she can't let herself be bothered by every little thing. Getting tired from the practice, Kenta decides to appreciate Arisa's apple pie to fuel their energy. Then when it's the right time again, Kenta makes Arisa step on Legos in happiness by donating another hefty amount of his kingdom's liquid white gold. After that, he then ushers her into the next festival clothing, which is a yukata. He explains that it's a traditional dress that ladies wear to festivals. Arisa wonders if she's wearing it correctly since she doesn't have any underclothing, but Kenta assures her there's nothing wrong while looking at her intently. Although Arisa is tired from the constant apple pie appreciation sessions, Kenta, ever eager, emphasizes that Japanese culture is all about people connecting through shared activities. He tells her that apple pie appreciation isn't just about stepping on Legos, but it's about building strong bonds. Arisa, a little taken aback by his earnest statement, finds herself inspired by Kenta's words. She asks him to teach her more about Japan's culture, hoping to learn something deeper and more meaningful. Kenta's eyes light up, thrilled that she's finally accepting the culture with open arms. Without wasting a second, he appreciates her apple pie again, assuring her that she's simply appreciating the culture in the most amazing way possible. As the appreciation session goes on, they find themselves covered in a mess of liquid white gold, but both don't seem to mind. Kenta, with his usual enthusiasm, continues to guide Arisa while spilling liquid white gold in places where it should be. After their fierce apple pie appreciation session, Arisa admits that she's learned more than she expected about Japanese culture. She then goes on to thank Kenta for everything he's taught her. And guys, please in the end, don't forget to support us with a like for the video and algorithms say you will like this videos.